Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome your host to the podium of leadership, Dr. Victor Udo.
Oh, wow. Good to see all of you. Good to see you. All right. Welcome to the podium of leadership. So good to have all of you here today. And, many a times people ask me, are you partisan? Is government sponsoring this? And my answer has always been no. This podium of leadership, this program is not anti any government, because change begins with us. So Nigerian, Akwa Ibom, Dakkada, and the change begins with who? Us. Change begins with us, and we got to show the change. And that's why the governor of Akwa Ibom State says, Dakkada, arise to your greatness. Dakkada, and let the change begins with you. And your president says, we've been talking about this change for so long a time and nothing seems to happen. It's not government that's going to make the change to the country, it is you. And the government says, federal government says, change starts with us. And your governor says, arise. Today in the house, we have the man that is responsible for the whole Dakkada team, marketing and brand in Akwa Ibom State. And so we're going to have conversation about this Dakkada. What does it mean? And what does it mean to Dakkada to arise and start change in your environment, in your village, in your church, in your local government, wherever you find yourself? Can you arise and let's change start with you? We have in the house Mr. Sam Edogo, who is the Senior Special Assistant to the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State on Marketing and Branch Management. His office is responsible for propagating Dakkada initiative. Dakkada in our language in English means arise. Arise to your greatness. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, help me welcome the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Sam Edogo, to the program. If you are watching us on the TV or you are listening to us on the radio, if you want to get in touch with us, just give us a call or send a text. We prefer text because if you send a text, whether we are there or not to answer the phone, we'll be able to respond to you by text. But before we go too long, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have Mr. Sam Edogo introduce himself and tell you more about Dakkada. A lot of people have asked so many questions about Dakkada. What is Dakkada about? Someone even asked me, sent us a question, is Dakkada means hard work. Is selling also part of Dakkada? Is doing a business same thing as doing trading? So there are so many questions. People are ready to brand this state. And I'm sure Mr. Edogo will be the first to say that it's not just the government. It's not just about governor, but it's about Akwa Ibom State. Akwa Ibom State arising with our greatness, projecting what is good about this state globally. Today people are doing a lot of transaction on the internet. If they search internet today and they want to find something about Akwa Ibom, what are they going to find out? What are you putting on the internet about Akwa Ibom that people will read? Not what the government is saying. Not what government is putting. The change starts with who? Change in Nigeria, change in Akwa Ibom, change starts with us. And so arise, Akwa Ibom people, and let your light shine, and let the glory of God be risen upon you. Welcome to the podium of leadership.
Do you have dreams of becoming your own boss? Resting in the comfort of your home while your money grows into leaps and bounds? Do you really want to be financially literate, thereby knowing the right investment to make? If yes, an opportunity is here. This is bringing to the great people of Akwa Ibom State the right knowledge that will change our financial world. My people perish for lack of knowledge, the Holy Book says, and the right knowledge is power. Come learn from the masters of cryptocurrency in a 2-day seminar and expose on cryptocurrency and blockchain. Life is not all about struggles for having the right knowledge at your disposal. Come learn, my fellow Akwa Ibomites. Seminar date, Friday 18th and Saturday 19th of November 2016. Venue, E-Library, IBB Way, Uyo. Time 10 a.m. daily. Entry fee, just 1,000 naira. Powered by Akwa Ibom Cryptocurrency Professionals. For further details and inquiries, call Felix on 08037805681. Ezekiel on 09072766574. Come learn, for the future is now.
Tell me, how do we take Akwa Ibom to the next level? How do I feel this nation?
Do you want to see beyond your vision? Do you want to hear what other people think about leadership? Do you need a reshaping of your mindset and mentorship? Then tune in to the Podium of Leadership, the poll with Victor Udo, showing on AKBC Channel 45 every Monday by 12:30 p.m. and on NTA Channel 12 Uyo every Thursday by 10 p.m. Tune to the poll on Atlantic FM every Tuesday by 6:30 p.m. on Planet FM every Wednesday by 3 p.m. and on Inspiration FM every Saturday by 12:30 p.m. You can be a guest on this program. You can also advertise your product, goods and services, or sponsor the program by calling our office line 0902 300 7299. That is 0902 300 7299. Visit our website on www.thepoll.com.ng. Like our page on facebook.com/The Podium of Leadership, or follow us on our Twitter handle at The Poll with Victor. The Podium of Leadership do show. Join us.
Welcome back to the Podium of Leadership. Today we've been talking about the theme that change starts with us. So we must arise. Dakkada, because change starts with us. Change starts with you. And we have the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor that is in charge of propagating the Dakkada Initiative, Mr. Sam Edogo. So Mr. Sam, once again you are on the Podium of Leadership. Let the Akwa Ibom people who are watching on the TV or listening know who you are first.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on this podium today. I appreciate it, and I thank God for the opportunity as well. I would like to say with every sense of humility that Mr. Sam Edogo is an Akwa Ibomite, a proud one at that. He's from Eket, and he sojourned out of Akwa Ibom to Lagos, where he lived and worked for several years. And in those years that he lived and worked in Lagos, he had the opportunity to work for some of the biggest global organizations in the world, including the Coca-Cola Company, Diageo. Diageo is a company that is called Guinness in Nigeria. Unilever, Globalcom, Visafone, and the rest. So I have had the opportunity to work for these organizations to drive their marketing and to drive their branding. And so at the appropriate time, I believe that God inspired His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, to invite me to come and partner with him to drive Akwa Ibom State forward. And that's what I do.
Welcome. Now, it's very good to know that Akwa Ibom have people like you being a global companies who understand what branding and marketing is. In goodness and fairness to this administration and even the previous administration, Akwa Ibom is now known everywhere. You know, the initiative that the previous governor and this governor came in to continue. You know, I know about 8 years ago, nobody knew about Akwa Ibom. There was nothing like Akwa Ibom International Airport. And today we have things like that. There was nothing like the specialist hospital. Now we have a specialist hospital. But before you go to do the marketing of the state to those who are not from our state, how did the idea of Dakkada start?
Well, to the credit of His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, and to further buttress the fact that he is a man that was prepared for leadership, prepared for governance. Immediately he was sworn into office, he began his governance from day one as a man who was already prepared. And having served in this state for 2 years prior to that period, he understood that the greatest asset that Akwa Ibom has are the people. And so he set about developing these people, inspiring them, and leading them to greatness. Now, the average Akwa Ibom person, in fact, all Akwa Ibomites, for that matter, are great people. They are born great. He has seen this. And so he looked for an opportunity or a channel to pass this message of greatness on. And that's how we came by Dakkada, which in English means arise. Arise to anything. Arise to your potentials. Arise to greatness. Arise and allow nothing limit you. And you can see that all around the world, you have Akwa Ibomites that have arisen in many respects, in many ways. We cannot count them, but if I would, share a few, we may have known of Ime Achibong. Ime Achibong is a director at Facebook. That is no mean feat. It is great achievement. And we have several like that. A lot of people all around the world. And as we continue to talk, we'll be mentioning them. And of course, even the viewers at home that are watching and listening, they are great people. The only thing is that they may not have expressed their greatness. But Akwa Ibom is definitely waiting for them to express their greatness. The world is waiting for them. The world is waiting for you to express your greatness. And I am waiting to see you express your greatness.
So the world is waiting for Akwa Ibom to Dakkada.
Yes.
And when Akwa Ibom Dakkada, the world Dakkada. That's one of the things we've been saying on this. As a matter of fact, one of our theme song is, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. It was Hillary Clinton that first said that, don't wait for some other person. You are the one that you've been waiting for. And I think that's what His Excellency is also trying to do. And at the federal levels too, they are saying change starts with us. And so we arise to make the change. We arise to our greatness. Another theme that I think a lot of people like, that I believe His Excellency was also trying to address, is the arising against biases and ethnicity. Can you speak to that?
Okay, I think you're quite right in saying that we are the ones we are waiting for. You see, most times when we talk about people being great, Akwa Ibom is being great, the reality is that you are that person. And I'm not saying this for want of what to say, but the reality is that every Akwa Ibom man and woman has been created by God and given potentials to succeed. And as the governor would say, all you have is all you need to succeed. Now, for you to succeed in this modern world, we need to do away with biases. And there are several biases. Biases are things that you have come with from your background. And you believe that, look, a woman cannot rise to a certain level. But we see that today, a woman is vying to become the president of the biggest economy in the world, of the most powerful nation on earth. We come with mindset that our women cannot rise to the highest level. It's not true. We have some of the best people in this world, and I mean Akwa Ibomites, and there are many of them. For instance, look at Vincent Inyama. Vincent Inyama is the most capped Nigerian footballer. He has played football for Nigeria. Vincent has played football for Nigeria more than any other player in this country. Did you know that? But it's an Akwa Ibomite. It's your brother. So it could have been you. So whichever area you find yourself, you could be the one. So we should rise above biases, above gender, above ethnicity. We are one people. And a people that are united, nothing can stand against them. Go to the Bible and look at it. You will see. So Akwa Ibom are one people, and we will move as one people under the leadership of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, and he will lead us, and he is already leading us to industrialization. He is leading us to self-sufficiency. He is leading us to our greatness. There has to be one leader at once, at a time. And today, he is that leader. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been on the podium of leadership with the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Akwa Ibom, Mr. Sam Edogo, talking about the spirit of Dakkada, the Dakkada Initiative, something that is helping the Akwa Ibom people to begin to see the greatness in them and project that greatness not only in Akwa Ibom but across the world. So once again, let's give it up to Mr. Edogo. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back from the break, we're going to let the audience interact with Mr. Edogo. I'm sure there are 1,001 questions you want to ask about Dakkada, about how we brand Akwa Ibom, how we move away from the Tok syndrome to the greatness syndrome, how we move away from the Ifot syndrome to God syndrome, how we move away from Sidon and Luke syndrome to Arise and Change syndrome. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a few minutes break, and when we come back, Mr. Edogo will be taking questions from the audience. Let's give him up once again to him.
Do you have dreams of becoming your own boss, resting in the comfort of your home while your money grows into leaps and bounds? Do you really want to be financially literate, thereby knowing the right investment to make? If yes, an opportunity is here. This is bringing to the great people of Akwa Ibom State the right knowledge that will change our financial world. My people perish for lack of knowledge, the Holy Book says, and the right knowledge is power. Come learn from the masters of cryptocurrency in a 2-day seminar and expose on cryptocurrency and blockchain. Life is not all about struggles, for having the right knowledge at your disposal. Come learn, my fellow Akwa Ibomites. Seminar date, Friday 18th and Saturday 19th of November 2016. Venue, E-Library, IBB Way, Uyo. Time 10 a.m. daily. Entry fee, just 1,000 naira. Powered by Akwa Ibom cryptocurrency professionals. For further details and inquiries, call Felix on 08037805681. Ezekiel on 09072766574. Come learn, for the future is now.
Tell me, how do we take Akwa Ibom to the next level? How do I feel this nation?
Do you want to see beyond your vision? Do you want to hear what other people think about leadership? Do you need a reshaping of your mindset and mentorship? Then tune in to the Podium of Leadership, the poll with Victor Odo, showing on AKBC Channel 45 every Monday by 12:30 p.m. and on NTA Channel 12 Uyo every Thursday by 10 p.m. Tune to the poll on Atlantic FM every Tuesday by 6:30 p.m. on Planet FM every Wednesday by 3 p.m. and on Inspiration FM every Saturday by 12:30 p.m. You can be a guest on this program. You can also advertise your products, goods and services, or sponsor the program by calling our office line 0902 300 7299. That is 0902 300 7299. Visit our website on www.thepoll.com.ng. Like our page on facebook.com/The Podium of Leadership, or follow us on our Twitter handle at The Poll with Victor. The Podium of Leadership do show. Join us.
Welcome back to the Podium of Leadership. Today we've been talking about the Dakkada, because change begins with you, and we have a special guest among us, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor, the man in charge in the government about the propagation of the Dakkada Initiative, Mr. Sam Edogo. This time around, we're going to let the audience ask him questions. Whatever question you have about Dakkada, I've heard people say, is Dakkada a new religion? What is Dakkada doing in Akwa Ibom? You have the man here to answer. Apart from the governor himself, this is Mr. Dakkada. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's ask Mr. Edogo, what is Dakkada? Let's give it up to him again. Any question? Someone wants to ask a question? Yes, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Edo. Welcome you to the Podium of Leadership.
Thank you.
Please, I would like to know, because I know so many people didn't understand what Dakkada really means. And we particularly, we have been opportune to speak directly to the Dakkada man. I want to understand, what are those measures, what steps have you been taken to make people arise? Because sometimes Dakkada, you can't just Dakkada. So certain things has to be.
Sometimes you need someone to hold your hand to rise up.
Because I was inside a keke with a lady. That lady sounds so rude. She said, if I had opportunity of meeting this Dakkada, anytime they advertise this Dakkada, she gets angry because sometimes she don't understand it. So can you enlighten us? What are those measures? What steps have been put in place so that Dakkada can go forward? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your question. What does Dakkada mean? It's a question that people keep asking, and we'll keep answering that. Dakkada simply means arise. Arise to what? Dakkada in itself is a movement to spiritual rebirth. It is about moral transformation, and it is also about reorientation. Now, let me break that down, make it easy. First, Dakkada covers your total person. It is a philosophy. What is a philosophy? A philosophy is a lifestyle. You cannot say, I will do Dakkada in the morning, but not in the afternoon. I will do it in the evening. No. Dakkada is you. Is the way you behave, the way you think, the way you act, all the things you do. That's what Dakkada is. And what we're saying is that if you are going on a road, for instance, you're going to Eket, and somewhere along the way, somebody says to you, this road is actually taking you to Calabar. What you should do is stop, make a U-turn, and go the right way. Because no matter how fast you go on the wrong road, it will never take you to any destination of choice. So, Dakkada is saying, Akwa Ibomites, we have been coming all this way to where we are. Can we stop, take stock, make a U-turn, and go on the right road? The road to greatness. Can we go on the road to greatness? And what exactly are these roads to greatness? Or is this road to greatness? Dakkada is simply saying, Akwa Ibomites, we are hard-working people. Let's embrace hard work again. Akwa Ibomites, we are people of integrity. That is why in the past, other people were comfortable to commit their entire households to us. Let's re-embrace integrity. Akwa Ibomites, we are people of entrepreneurship. We are entrepreneurs in Akwa Ibom. It was in this Akwa Ibom that we used to have in Yangete, Utuk's Motors, and several others. Let's embrace entrepreneurship and become great people. Akwa Ibom, we are people of excellence. Let's embrace excellence. Let everything we do be done with the spirit of excellence. So, in a nutshell, that is what Dakkada means. And of course, you can see that with the advent of Dakkada, a lot of Akwa Ibomites are looking for ways to better their lot. People are standing up and touching things to do. Now, it is easy for someone to say, look, I need somebody to help me. Without help, I cannot do A or B. But the reality is that if you look around you, you will find an opportunity to be useful. One, you can be useful by serving. Service, offering service. We need to come back to that time when a man will see that this man has a need and I go to serve him in that area of need. And just by doing that, that man will be motivated to reward you. It used to happen in this our state. So those are the components and those are the things. Look around us. Our land is blessed. It is green all year round. It doesn't happen like that in every part of the world. So God has already blessed us. If you just walk on our land, you will find that even things you didn't plant, they are growing by themselves. So how much more if you take something and consciously put it in the ground and look after it and water it and tend it, it will grow. At least it will give you food. At least it will give you something to exchange for some money. I see people who have small water leaf farm. They don't need all of those water leaf, but they pluck it and exchange for some money and use it to buy it, whether it's bread or water or whatever. So Dakkada is simply saying Akwa Ibomites are great people. And if anywhere you're listening to me, if you're an Akwa Ibomite, know that you're a great person. God has created you to be great. God created you to be great. We want you to express that greatness. Demonstrate that greatness. And the first step to demonstrating greatness is by standing up. Is by arising. You cannot sit down and be docile and be dormant and say, I'm arising. No. Stand up. Search for the opportunity, because there are opportunities. Search for those opportunities and take advantage of them.
In other words, Akwa Ibom people are Abasi people. They are God's children. And you cannot be a God's child and behave like a devil's child.
Yep.
Am I right? So a God's child, someone that is an Abasi person, Abasi is a big person. And even that woman in the keke, that says, what can government do? That's a bias. And we have to arise against that bias. Am I making sense? You don't always, it's a bias to always think government will do everything for you. The whole idea about Dakkada is a mindset. The Bible talks about renewing your mind. Renew your mind from being dependent on government and people, whether that government is in New York or is in Abuja. Arise to your greatness because you are a child of God. Because of the Abbas. So in Tabas in Amso, Irakira. Let's give it up to Mr. Doe. Alright, let's take a question from this side and we'll come back to this side. Any question from this side?
Apart from Dakkada being a philosophy, to me, I also view it as a means of social engineering. In other words, it's a means of encouraging Akwa Ibomites who have the mental inclination to arise to do so. Now, I want to know, what are governments and those behind Dakkada, what are they doing to ensure that those who have the mental inclination, who desire to arise, but who lack the capacity, are encouraged to do so? And also, on the issue of arise against bias, I want to say this. To avoid bias, there must be equitable sharing of resources. Justice must not only be done, but must be seen to be done in the sharing of resources. So, in what way are Dakkada, the ambassadors of Dakkada and Akwa Ibom State government ensuring that Akwa Ibom State and its citizens arise against ethnicity and bias in terms of sharing resources in all parts of the state?
So do you need that before you can arise? Is that a condition for arising?
No, so that we can clear the doubt in the minds of ordinary members of the society who feel that it is not possible for them to arise in a state where there is no equitable sharing of resources.
But is that not a bias in itself?
That, of course. That appears to be a bias.
Doctor, you're quite right.
So please, Mr. Doe, clear the doubt.
Doctor, you're quite right. That in itself is a bias. You see, part of the thing we want to address, or we're addressing. For instance, I just came into public service about a year ago. Before then, I was a fulfilled person where I was. Okay, and there are several others I've mentioned. I mentioned Vincent Eyama. He's not in government. He's not in public. He's not in politics. But he has achieved. And he achieved that on his own. There are several others. We have a lot of Dakkada ambassadors. There's a young man called Unyime Idems. Is an entrepreneur in this Akwa Ibom State. Unyime Idems started doing telecoms business from making phone calls. Today, he's the biggest telecom dealer in Nigeria. That is a fact.
And how much did government give him?
0 naira, 0 kobo. That is a fact. So let the youth, especially the youth of today, not be government dependent, not focus on government, not look to government alone. Uforikom is another Akwa Ibomite like you. So it could have been you we're talking about. But even without his father being around, the young man went to university in Japan. He was working between jobs and going to school, but he still came out with first class. And when he finished, Japanese companies were looking for him left, right, and center to come and work for them. He was giving them his terms. He's an Akwa Ibomite like you. So on the issue of bias and equitable distribution of resources, the first distribution of resource has come from your creator, God himself.
Yeah.
There is no part of this state where you will plant and it will not grow. So land is equitably distributed. The fertility of the land is equitably distributed. Ideas are equitably distributed. So you are a young man, you've got ideas. You are intelligent, you're sharp for you to ask the kind of question you asked. Use that level of intelligence and awareness, channel it into entrepreneurship, channel it into something productive, and you will not, in fact, government will be looking for you. You won't be looking for government.
I was just going to follow up a little bit with, this might be a little bit of a side discussion. Mr. Uford Ekong, didn't you just got married to a Japanese lady?
He has a master's degree. He just obtained his master's degree.
And got married to a Japanese lady. How does that fit into Dakkada? The best of our kids? Because I've heard this, actually. I've heard this. And I'm not putting it down on Uford. I've heard this from the ladies, that the best of our girls are married outside of Akwa Ibom, and the best of our guys are being married by foreign women. How does that fit, or does it fit with Dakkada?
That again is a bias. And it is all substantiated. Akwa Ibom has, I said it earlier, that the greatest asset of Akwa Ibom state are the people of Akwa Ibom. 6.2 million, 6.3 million people. What percentage of them are married outside? Are married outside. Are you saying, for instance, that our governor, who is married to a proud Akwa Ibom woman, is not the best of Akwa Ibom?
No, actually, you should have said the previous governor. The previous governor was not married to an Akwa Ibom.
Are you saying that you, that is married to an Akwa Ibom woman, you are not the best of Akwa Ibom? Are you putting down yourself?
No, but that's what people are saying, actually, that we should be marrying ourselves.
So, but you see, that we are this is a global environment. We are in a global village now. We go on the internet, we buy things outside Nigeria, and it is delivered to us. The shoes we wear, a lot of the shoes we wear, even though Akwa Ibomites are beginning to make very good shoes. I mean, and if you see them, you'll be proud. Yeah, I have seen them. And I've actually wondered.
And I think we should add that even the military, now they're going to buy shoes instead of going to Europe and America to buy shoes for the military. So we should get people in Akwa Ibom rising to make shoes so that the military, navy, and the rest can also come and buy. So I think looking inward is a way of arising and making what? Change.
I think it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Akwa Ibom is growing to become the industrial hub of Africa.
And that's what Dakkada is all about. And that's why we should marry the Japanese, marry the Europeans, marry the Americans, bring them all into Akwa Ibom and make Akwa Ibom even stronger. But in reality, that's what makes America the greatest country it is. Because America, it's called a melting pot. Some call it a pot of salad. Some call it a melting pot. People coming from all over the world. So pretty soon, Mr. Uford Ekong is going to bring his Japanese woman. Hopefully they will not stay there with their children. They will come back. So it's,
but you see, the interesting thing about Uford Ekong, okay, I would let you know, and which inspires me, is that the young man visits home. And when he visits home, like in January this year, he was in town. And when he came, what did he do? He spent his resources, printed exercise books, and took to schools around the state and benefited people within the state. For me, if he is able to attract investment into Akwa Ibom State, and Akwa Ibom State people are benefiting from it, I think that's That's the greatest.
I don't think it was
that we
enough
can
to
expect.
say he's married to Japanese. How would it? I mean, it's a new dimension, a new way of Dakkadaing that we bring people married and wives from different countries and bring them here. There's nothing wrong with that. It wasn't a knock.
I'm not saying it's a knock. I'm just saying that the interesting thing is that the young man has not forgotten.
In January 2017,
has not
he's falling with the
forgotten
wife.
home. He has not forgotten
January
home.
2017, and we're seeing this Japanese woman distributing this exercise.
He has not forgotten home. He still thinks about his people, and as a Dakkada ambassador, I am proud of him because he has stood up for Akwa Ibom people. He has benefited Akwa Ibom people, and there are several other Akwa Ibomites who have stood up for Akwa Ibom people, who have attracted opportunities to Akwa Ibom people, and will continue to do so. And that is what Dakkada has been doing. That's what we'll continue to do.
Any questions from this side? Okay, let's get a question from a lady, a young lady.
Speaking about the marriage.
I thought someone would say something to that.
Speaking about the marriage, I don't think it's bad for anyone to marry from anywhere. So, in as much as we have people always getting married, we have people who always talk about their marriages. Akwa Ibomites are people that they will either appreciate. In fact, anyone anywhere will either appreciate or complain. So I think the man is not wrong. Well, back to the reality of the moment. We have had the likes of Ufodekong and the others in Vincent Yama. But let's speak about the moment.
And the mayor Sibong, is it the mayor? Achibong.
Right now, in Akwa Ibom, there's something we used to enjoy. I know I should not be asking you this question, but I see you as a representative of the governor right here. So I am asking. We used to have something like a free and compulsory education.
Is it used to? We still do?
No. Right now, some public secondary schools are charging people for tuition fee.
No. Public?
There is no. I mean, let's just speak categorically about that. Okay.
Okay.
Akwa Ibom offers free and compulsory education to its citizens. One of the very few states to do that. It's not in my position to speak about this, but when there is misinformation, it's important for me to correct it. There's free education in Akwa Ibom State, and the government is funding it adequately and on time.
And even more than that, they're even paying for the
WAEC school fees, and they just paid. The results have just been released, and all Akwa Ibom Mites results have been released, and that is going on. So that is the correct position on that. But let's go back to Dakkada and entrepreneurship. You see, the philosophy of Dakkada. Somebody asked and said, how do you encourage Akwa Ibomites who cannot? What we've done is that we realize that there are people, or as individuals, you may not be able to get to certain levels, certain points. So we in the directorate, we represent you. We look for opportunities, both within and outside Akwa Ibom State. And when we get these opportunities, we present them to you. So recently, after months of discussion and talks with MTN agreed to set up 600 businesses in Akwa Ibom. And these opportunities we presented to Akwa Ibomites. But we select our beneficiaries from Dakkada ambassadors. And right now we have almost 20,000 Dakkada ambassadors.
Has the 600 been allocated?
These 600 businesses in the month of September was set up. MTN came to Akwa Ibom,
yes,
presented 600 businesses, tables, chairs.
No, my question, because our show is what kind of a show? They're going to hold you. They're going to try and get something from you. If the 600,
it's been done.
All 600 is done.
Done.
Okay, if there was maybe 2 left,
but that's not the only one. There's a company in this state, because I said we look for opportunities both within and outside Akwa Ibom. There's a company in this state called Niger Pet. As we speak now, they are training 20 Akwa Ibomites. They are training them. If you want, I'll give you the address. You can go search out for yourself. Training them, and they are training them for 3 months. At the end of 3 months, they will empower them with their own businesses. And those ones.
Is there any other one like that anybody here can take advantage of?
It's an ongoing thing. It's not a one-stop start thing. No, it's an ongoing thing. We are still exploring the opportunities in the environment. As we get them, we present them to Akwa Ibom people. As we get them, we present them to Akwa Ibom people. And Leap Africa, an organization based in Lagos, we have gone into partnership with them. They are coming to Akwa Ibom to present awards to a cross-section of Nigerian entrepreneurs. Akwa Ibom entrepreneurs are going to be part of them, courtesy of Dakkada. Akwa Ibom entrepreneurs are going to be a part of them, courtesy of Dakkada. Now, these entrepreneurs, the benefits are huge. We're still discussing with them. So I don't want to talk about details of things that we're yet to, fully finalize. But Akwa Ibomites are part of the beneficiaries award.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been on the podium of leadership with Mr. Samido, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on brand management and marketing, the man in charge of propagating the Dakkada initiative. We've been having a lot of interaction, a lot of questions. We've been going up and down, talking about Akwa Ibomites marrying in Japan and marrying in America. Very soon we're going to have Akwa Ibom Dakkada in Japan. Let's give it up to before they come. We have some Akwa Ibom, and this is true. When you go to America, there's some area that they call Chinatown, and you see all kind of Chinese food. There's nothing wrong in having Akwa Ibom town in Japan. There's nothing wrong in having Akwa Ibom town in America. There's nothing wrong in having Akwa Ibom town in China. And that is what? Dakkada, because change begin with who? With us. So when we come back from this short break, we're going to continue the interaction with Mr. Samido. Once again, it's good to have you on the podium of leadership.
Do you have dreams of becoming your own boss, resting in the comfort of your home while your money grows into leaps and bounds? Do you really want to be financially literate, thereby knowing the right investment to make? If yes, an opportunity is here. This is bringing to the great people of Akwa Ibom State the right knowledge that will change our financial world. My people perish for lack of knowledge, the Holy Book says, and the right knowledge is power. Come learn from the masters of cryptocurrency in a 2-day seminar and expose on cryptocurrency and blockchain. Life is not all about struggles, for having the right knowledge at your disposal. Come learn, my fellow Akwa Ibomites. Seminar date, Friday 18th and Saturday 19th of November 2016. Venue, A-Library, IBB Way, Uyo. Time 10 a.m. daily. Entry fee, just 1,000 naira. Powered by Akwa Ibom cryptocurrency professionals. For further details and inquiries, call Felix on 08037805681. Ezekiel on 09072766574. Come learn, for the future is now.
Tell me, how do we take Akwa Ibom to the next level? How do I feel this nation?
Do you want to see beyond your vision? Do you want to hear what other people think about leadership? Do you need a reshaping of your mindset and mentorship? Then tune in to the Podium of Leadership, the poll with Victor Odo, showing on AKBC Channel 45 every Monday by 12:30 p.m. and on NTA Channel 12 Uyo every Thursday by 10 p.m. Tune to the poll on Atlantic FM every Tuesday by 6:30 p.m. on Planet FM every Wednesday by 3 p.m. and on Inspiration FM every Saturday by 12:30 p.m. You can be a guest on this program. You can also advertise your product, goods and services, or sponsor the program by calling our office line 0902 300 7299. That is 0902 300 7299. Visit our website on www.thepoll.com.ng. Like our page on facebook.com/The Podium of Leadership, or follow us on our Twitter handle at The Poll with Victor. The Podium of Leadership do show. Join us.
Welcome back to the Podium of Leadership. We've been talking with Mr. Samido, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor, the man in charge of marketing and brand management of this great state, Akwa Ibom State, the man that is in charge of propagating the Dakkada initiative. We've been having interactions with him, and we've been having a lot of questions from this side. Is there any question from this side? Yes.
it is obvious that from your explanation that the sole aim of the Dakkada concept is to bring to reality the innovative ingenuity of Akwa Ibom persons to reality. Now, how can we balance the fact that so many of us are doing some little businesses in areas where security are not guaranteed? What is the government doing to those areas so that people will feel secured in order to carry out small businesses?
Okay. We're going to take that question because of time. We're going to combine. That question is about what is government doing. Okay, but Dakkada also says, what are you doing about security? Don't forget that. Dakkada says, what are you doing? Are you reaching out to government? The question is well taken. Another question on this side.
Thank you so much, sir. I'd love to know how can we become a Dakkada ambassador. But apart from that, what are the indicators of success as per the next 10 years? How can we turn back and say, okay, we launched a program in 2015, and after 10 years, we've been able to see this and this. What are the indicators for success?
So, Mr. There were three questions. One, what's government doing about security to help us arise? So when we arise and get tall, we don't get damaged. And then the second question, how does someone become a Dakkada ambassador, and what are the performance indicators of Dakkada 10 years from now? How will we have known that Dakkada have really succeeded?
Okay, thank you so much. Let me start with the last question, and that is to say, look, what you sow is what you reap. What are you sowing today? If you sow nothing, you wait for 10 years, you will get nothing. So today, this government is leading Akwa Ibomites to sow industrialization. And what do you think this government will get after 10 years? Industries. But what are individual Akwa Ibomites sowing? What are you doing? What are you putting in so that you will see something come out? That's the question. And that question is for you to respond to. But I can assure you that today, with Dakkada, we are laying the foundation for our greatness tomorrow. And it is for every Akwa Ibomite to find something to do, so that in the next couple of years, not up to 10, in the next couple of years, you can look back and say, yes, I was one of those that drove that Dakkada revolution. I was one of those that drove that change, that orientation, that spiritual rebirth, that moral transformation, that movement. And today, this is where I am. The ultimate measure of the success of Dakkada is that Akwa Ibomites are people who have expressed their greatness. And a lot is happening. And like I said, we have Dakkada ambassadors who are showcasing that, who are modeling that for us to see, and it is for us to continue in that light. Secondly, is the fact that if you go around the state, you can see a clamor by Akwa Ibomites to be gainfully engaged. So you see people going back to agriculture, you see people going to entrepreneurship, you see people going to selling, trading, doing things, but not wanting to be idle, wanting to be relevant, wanting to contribute to the success and the greatness of Akwa Ibom State.
So Mr. If I might drop that home a little bit so that people can understand, it's by 10 years or 5 years or even 8 years from now, we begin to see that the percentage of youths that are going for campaign has been reduced from maybe 50% to 10% now. And more than 50% of the youths, when they leave work, they are working in industries. They have gainful employment. That's
because people will be gainfully engaged. So you find that the level of miscreant activity in the society has dropped. The level of unemployment in society has dropped because people have found themselves doing things.
They have reason to their greatness.
Exactly. And then somebody asked and said, look, how do I become a Dakkada ambassador? It's very easy. The criteria for becoming Dakkada ambassador is very easy and simple. 1, you have to be a Akwa Ibomite. 2, you have to live an exemplary life. Your life has to be an example to somebody. So what are you doing today? Are you an example? Are you a good example to the other person? Once you meet these 2 criteria, you can become a Dakkada ambassador. And for you to become one, just visit our website, www.dakkadaambassadors.com, and you'll find an online form, complete it, and then we will communicate with you. You can visit our offices at 65 Wellington Bassey Way here in Uyo, and you'll be presented with the procedure for completing either an online form or a physical form to become an ambassador. Or you visit any of your local government headquarters. We have people there who will attend to you and present you with the opportunity to register either online or physically. But wherever you are, you can visit www.dakkadaambassadors.com and complete an online form.
Let me add to that. That's just to be a formal ambassador. By the fact that you are an Akwa Ibom child, you are a Dakkada ambassador.
Once you live an exemplary life, what you're doing is contributing to the development of the community, and people look up to you, and people want to be like you in a positive way, then you are an ambassador. But yes, it's good to also become formally to become a formal ambassador. So
the bottom line is, every Akwa Ibom child, wherever you are, you must arise. Arise to your greatness. Arise against biasness. Arise against ethnicity. That's what it means to be an Akwa Ibom ambassador. And then once you do something great like Uforikon is doing in Japan, we'll be there one looking for you and asking you to come and be an ambassador.
Yeah, and please, let me just correct the notion. You don't have to do, something that is, too massive for you to have done something great. If you support a farmer, somebody who owns his farm, you just go there and help him to weed. That is something great, because you're contributing to feeding Akwa Ibom State and feeding the nation. If you participate in community service, maybe in just cleaning the civic center in your community, that's something great. If you volunteer for something within the community, within the society, within the state, that's something great. So nobody can say, I didn't find something to do. You must find something to do. And in talking about finding something to do, people are looking at building skyscrapers. No, we are not asking for people to build skyscrapers. Look for that little thing around you and do it.
And to the guy who asked about security, form the people in your village, Velente, they call it, or community something, and stop crime. And you have already arisen.
Yeah, but the other thing is that, when asking this question, you need to be specific. So please provide more information. We'll pass the information to the relevant authorities and they can do something about it. But I can tell you, Akwa Ibom State is one of the most, if not the most secure state in this country. You can walk at night without fear of molestation. On this Uyo road, you walk there freely. Okay, so Akwa Ibom is one of the most secure and friendly states in this country.
So Akwa Ibom people arise and let change begin with who? Akwa Ibom people arise, Dakkada, so that change will begin with who? It has been so good having you, Mr. Samedowo, giving us the idea behind the Dakkada initiative, giving us some examples of Dakkada ambassadors and how we all can become Dakkada ambassadors. You don't have to do a big thing. Just do something that shows a change. Change in your environment, change among yourself, change in your school, change in your church. Visit the webpage and you can also be seen as a formal ambassador of the Dakkada initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question or comment, just feel free to send us a text, an SMS at 09023007299, 0902-300-7299. It has really been great having Mr. Samedowo here. It's good to know that Akwa Ibom have arisen and that the change starts with us. I've always told people, and I've always boasted, that where Akwa Ibom goes is where Nigeria goes. So all these change start with us. We've arisen, and change is starting with Akwa Ibom. Thank you very much for being on the podium of leadership. God bless you. God bless Akwa Ibom State. Akwa Ibom Dakkada, because I didn't